have any interesting stories or pearls of wisdom for our viewers?
Oh, interesting stories. Yeah, a huge amount of stories I have, because I've dealt with traders, including all my mistakes that I made over the years, but I also know a lot of traders that have made mistakes as well. And one thing always comes to mind is risk management, and we always come back to it. But the number one mistake that so many traders make out there is not managing their risk correctly. I'll recall a story for you. I've got so many of them, and it's a sad story, but it's true, and this is the sort of thing that happens. And a trader got in touch with me. This is maybe 10 years or so ago, and told me what he'd done. And effectively, he was following moon cycles in order to predict the stock markets. And so he was convinced that the S&P 500 in America was about to plummet to all-time new lows, to, whatever. And so he remortgaged his house without telling his wife. He was a school teacher, so he was on an average sort of salary. Remortgaged to the tune of about £40,000, put it into a trading account so he could put this huge position on, and basically lost the lot. And of course emailed me to say, can you help me? How am I going to make this £40,000 back so that I can then pay it back onto the mortgage, and so that my wife doesn't find out? And you can't actually give anyone advice on that sort of thing, because there's no way that I can train someone just overnight to turn 1,000 into 40,000. That's an incredible sort of return. So you do hear sad stories like that. So the number one piece of advice I'd always give is manage your risk, because even if you make mistakes, you're not going to hurt yourself too much if you're only risking a very, very small amount per trade.
And don't make your decisions based on the moon cycle.
Yeah, lunar cycles, yeah, probably not, no. I mean, there's so many different methods that traders use out there, and that's a great thing, that we all trade with different styles, but some styles are quite wacky.
Do you have like a superstition? Are there like some days you don't trade on, or if you see a bird fly by, do you have any superstitions about?
It can get funny actually, yeah. Not quite like that, but sometimes I don't always want traders following me into every trade that I go into. So sometimes I just don't feel that I want them in that trade with me, because I feel like if I have too many people following me on that trade, then the market might follow all our stop losses, and it will see all our stop losses out there, and the market will move to those stops. So sometimes, yes, I can be a bit superstitious on that. It's usually if it's a trade where I've only got a very tight stop on it, then that would be somewhere where I wouldn't necessarily want to tell people where my stops are and tell them about that trade, because the likelihood is if there's loads of you all in the same position with a stop loss at the same level, then the market will see those stops, and the market's job is to fulfill orders, and so it will move towards those stops. So sometimes I can be a bit superstitious like that.